Students, today we are going to learn the poem The Bangle Sellers by the poet Sarojini Naidu. The folk song The Bangle Sellers by Sarojini Naidu uses a series of images connected to various bangle colors to highlight the qualities and values of Indian womanhood. The bangles serve as more than just a fashion accessory by symbolizing the several stages of a typical Indian woman's life. The poem is found in Sarojini Naidu's second book, The Bird of Time, in the third section of Indian folk songs. Bangles are brought by the bangle sellers to the temple market, where they are sold. There is a detailed explanation of numerous colored bangles that are appropriate for women of all ages. Bangles in vibrant colors such as silver and blue that resemble the mountain mist, and bangles in pink colors that resemble glowing birds and flowers adorn the wrists of young girls. In addition, the young girls wear bangles that resemble the color of dewdrops on newly sprouted leaves. The sparkling, bright, golden and reddish yellow bangles are ideal for a lady on her wedding day. Grey bangles with purple and gold highlights are appropriate for a middle-aged woman who has cherished, loved and blessed her children. First stanza says, Bangle sellers are we who bear our shining lures to the temple fair. Who will buy these delicate, bright, rainbow-tinted circles of light? Lustrous tokens of radiant lives for happy daughters and happy wives. Now let's analyze the first stanza. The bangle sellers bring the gleaming bangles to the temple festival where they will be sold. They extend an invitation to customers to visit and purchase their delicate, vivid and rainbow-colored bangles. The colorful bangles represent the radiance and prosperity of happy daughters and happy wives. Here, rainbow-colored bangles refer to multicolored bangles. Lustrous tokens of radiant lives for happy daughters and happy wives. This means the bangles are a symbolic representation of the glory and prosperity of the happy lives of Indian women. The bangles are meant to be worn by happy daughters and happy wives, as bangles were not considered to be suitable for widows. The second stanza says, some are meet for a maiden's wrist, silver and blue as the mountain mist. Some are flushed like the birds that dream on the tranquil brew of a woodland stream. Some are aglow with the bloom that cleaves to the limpid glory of newborn leaves. Students, now let's examine the second stanza. The bangle seller describes the bangles that are appropriate for a maiden's wrist. They claim that bangles in shades of blue and silver that resemble the color of a mountain's mist will look good on her. These bangles are suitable for a maiden's wrist. This hints to her blossoming beauty as the time passes. Some of the bangles have colors similar to birds that will soon blossom on a woodland stream. These bangles are flushed pink just like a newborn bird. Other bangles have colors similar to the translucent dew on newly sprouted leaves. These vibrant, mist-like, bird-like and flower-like bangles are all appropriate for maidens. Some are flushed like the birds that dream on the tranquil brew of a woodland stream. Students, now here we should remember that the bangles suitable for a young maiden are flushed pink just like the newly sprouted birds near a serene stream in a forest. Some are aglow with the bloom that cleaves to the limpid glory of newborn leaves. This means we should remember that the bangles suitable for a young maiden are translucent too, just like the dew on the surface of newly sprouted leaves. This resembles the purity and elegance of a young maiden. Third stanza says, some are like fields of sunlit corn, meet for a bride on her bridal morn. Some like the flame of her marriage fire, or rich with the hue of her heart's desire, tinkling, luminous, tender and clear, like her bridal laughter and bridal dew. Students, now let's examine the third stanza. The salesman of bangles described the bangles that are appropriate for a bride on her wedding morning in this poem. Some of these bangles are yellow like cornfields, while others are reddish yellow like the flame of marriage. In addition, she will look good wearing bangles that are crimson, the color of her heart's desire. These bangles have the same tinkling, sparkling tenderness and clarity as the joy and grief a bride feels on her wedding day. This refers to the joy that a bride feels on the day of her marriage, but she is sad too, as she is going to leave her paternal home, or rich with the hue of her heart's desire. Here, we should remember that the bangles suitable for a bride are pure red too, matching the desire of her heart. The bangles are pure red, which resemble the color of love that she feels on the day of her marriage. Tinkling, luminous, tender, and clear, like her bridal laughter and bridal tear. So, students, these bangles have the same tinkling, sparkling, tenderness, and clarity as the joy and grief a bride feels. This refers to the joy that a bride feels on the day of her marriage. But she is sad too, as she is going to leave her paternal home. Thus, the bangles are tender and sparkling, just like the laughter and tears of a bride. The fourth stanza says, some are purple and gold-flecked grey, for she who has journeyed through life midway, whose hands have cherished, whose love has blessed, and cradled fair sons on her faithful breast, and serves her household in fruitful pride, and worships the gods at her husband's side. Let's analyze this stanza. The bangle sellers claim to have some purple and gold colored bangles for a middle aged woman. These bangles are appropriate for a mother who has cherished, nurtured, blessed, and cradled her kids, as well as a wife who looks after her home and sits beside her husband while worshipping. Purple and gold flecked grey refers to her pride and authority, for here is a woman who has been through the entire span of womanhood and serves her household in fruitful pride and worships the gods at her husband's side. According to the poet Sarojini Naidu, a middle-aged woman has served her household throughout her life. She has raised her fair sons into responsible citizens. Such a woman sits by the side of her husband in order to worship God. Thus, the poet completes her description of the stages of womanhood. Now, let's understand that the bangles suitable for a young maiden are presented in three ways. They are silver and blue like the mountain mist, flushed pink like a bud near a Syrian stream, and translucent like a dewdrop on the surface of a newly sprouted leaf. Bangles suitable for a bride are presented in three ways. They are yellow like the sunlit cornfields, reddish yellow like the marriage fire, and pure red which matches the desire of her heart. Now, the bangles suitable for a middle-aged woman are purple and gold-flecked grey, which resemble the pride and authority of the mature matriarch, that is, a middle-aged woman. So, Indian women are praised in the poem. The bangle seller in the poem is attempting to convince customers of the spiritual and symbolic value of his bangles in a conventional Indian setting. The color of the appropriate bangles is used to describe each stage of an Indian woman's life, from the daydreaming maiden to the joyful bride to the mature matriarch. The tradition of wearing various types of bangles, such as rainbow tinted bangles or multicolored bangles, are symbolic of various stages of womanhood. The bangles that are appropriate for a maiden's wrist are the subject of the second stanza. So these includes bangles that are blue and silver in color, resembling the mountain tops blue and silver mist. Some bangles come in a variety of pink shades, resembling budding flowers or the fresh dew on young leaves. So, these stand for the youthfulness and attractiveness of young maidens. So, the bangles that are suitable for a bride are golden colored, like the holy fire around which the bride takes marriage vows with her groom. So the bangles also have the color of her heart's desire, which is suggestive of dreams and hopes of a newly married bride. So the golden colored bangles are compared to a yellow sunlit cornfield, are as seen as suitable for a bride. The cornfields, a proof of Mother Nature's fertility, is symbolic of the fertility of a young girl getting married. Thus, the flame-like color of bangles is appropriate to symbolize the flame of love in marriage. If yellow and red bangles are appropriate for a bride on her wedding day, silver and blue bangles fit an innocent maiden's wrist. Then, purple and gold-flecked grey bangles are appropriate for a woman who has gone through the life midway. So one learns that the virgin turned bride has now experienced every part of being a woman in the final stanza. As a result, this verse conveys a sense of pride. Because of this, she chose the color purple and gold for her bangles. So the grey flecks provide an air of wisdom that comes with experience. Sarojini Naidu's vision for the ideal Indian woman is expressed in the final stanza. So, she is an equal partner in the upkeep of family connections, in addition to being a mother whose magnificence and splendor is emphasized. Thus, this poem sensitively and elegantly depicts a woman's maidenhood, state of being a bride, a wife, and motherhood. So, a sense of fulfillment and contentment is the end outcome. As a result, the multicolored bangles honor the value and beauty of womanhood. Thus, Sarojini Naidu has cherished India's common people and their homeland. In several lyrics, she acknowledges their skills, joys, and sorrows. She was enchanted by the splendor of Indian life and sang joyously about it. Her lyrics are a collection of portraits of Indian folk characters. Hence, The Bangle Seller is a poem that depicts the various phases of a woman's existence in traditional Indian society. So, the idea of wearing colorful bangles will provide happiness to young maidens, brides, wives, and mothers is deeply ingrained in Indian tradition. Thus, varied colors of the bangles they wear symbolize different stages in their lives and have symbolic and religious significance. So, the poem depicts not only the lives of conventional Indian women but also the lives of bangle sellers. The bangle seller speaks in a happy tone and displays his goods, that is, bangles, as signs of joy. The only mention of the struggles of bangle sellers is their heavy cargoes or the weight of the bangles. One distinctive aspect of Naidu's poetry is how it depicts Indian folk life using imagery.